when Lush get back, we'll hop into what's going on with Diddy. I've still been trying to keep up to see, cause like he might be getting released today. We don't know yet. They saying at 5 p.m. Eastern time we should be finding out. So what is it in? It's like 3:41. So yeah, maybe about 5 o'clock today we'll find out.
Damn. So I was telling me he was
Oh yeah, crazy.
found guilty. He beat it.
So look, he didn't beat it, but he was found guilty on 2 counts. Oh, let's really wait till Lush. Let's pull it up now. So he got found guilty on counts. Yeah, so he didn't get found guilty on the RICO, and he got guilty. All right, yeah. So here's exactly the verdict right here. So Diddy verdict on the racketeering charge, not guilty. On sex trafficking, Cassie, not guilty. Transportation for prostitution, he was guilty. Sex trafficking, Jane Doe, not guilty. And then transportation for prostitution, guilty. So out of the 5 charges, he was guilty on 2 charges, and the RICO charge not being not guilty was the major thing that everybody was like, oh, he's getting out, because like that's the main hold the most weight, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
So with you know what I'm saying, you basically just said you a veteran with how this law shit go. How much time do you see him getting based off these 2 guilty charges he got with the transportation of prostitution and transportation for prostitution?
So with me, I ain't gonna say like
I'm 2 different people.
I'm a veteran of the law, but I do know in a good extensive information, you know what I'm saying, pertaining to law. Now, like the sex stuff, it be kind of tricky. Like, now I've been around people who have been locked up for them charges, like pimps and stuff like that. Like pimps usually have charges like that, and it really depend on like what's the nature of it, like what happened, you know what I'm saying, what you make them do, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying. And even like people be hearing like the RICO, even a RICO is like for real, that's like I want to say like 0 like the 20 years. It only holds 20 years, you feel me? So like, man, like it really just depend on because see, 2 of them charges they found them guilty on, they had them charges twice.
Yeah.
It looked like it said not guilty and then came back and said guilty.
Because it's 2 different chicks. There's the Jane Doe. So he got found guilty of prostitution for her. And then for Cassie as well.
So she don't want her name disclosed.
She's going as Jane Doe. And everybody, they've been having they've been having their conspiracies on who they believe it is. One of the ex chicks that he was messing around with. But with that being said,
who are some of the speculations?
Oh, damn, what's our girl name? She's been making names in her. Everyone's been going around running with the owner.
Oh yeah, we gotta look and see what that
or the potential Jane Does.
Not Jane Doe, like, but what that hold, because like it really depends on the nature, depending on how much time they can give him on that.
Yeah, it's his ex-girlfriend, but I gotta remember her name.
Bro, you guys don't get it. He's gonna probably get like no time whatsoever. He might get 18 months.
Oh yeah, might be.
So
I thought I saw 10 years was the projected.
Hell nah.
I personally think he's getting bonded out today. I think we'll be seeing Diddy walk out at 5 p.m. today. I think he's gonna post like a $1 million bill, and I think he's gonna walk home today.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be some type of stipulations.
Until he gets sent to that, yeah, most definitely they do that in the feds too. And being that he got found guilty for the lesser charges, I could see him getting out on bail and ankle monitor, being able to sit at home, you know what I'm saying, until the whole little court proceedings and sentencing is over with and all that.
I think that's more than highly likely what's probably gonna go. The fact that he, they're saying Diddy just beat the feds and it was not, everybody they was trying to throw life at this. Life is crazy.
Sure.
So for even if a nigga get 2 years, 5 years, that shit hit way harder than when a nigga saying life, that shit hit different, bro. So
I mean,
y'all heard about this conspiracy?
You got my lighter.
About this conspiracy theory that was trying to say that a tape was leaked or something with like some high profile people saying that basically Diddy was gonna beat it, like basically, like look, basically you gonna do some time. We gonna make you do 18 months, embarrass you. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna let you come home. You know what I'm saying?
You be having some crazy. I seen like that too, but I don't be knowing what to believe.
but regardless of the we're gonna embarrass you, quote unquote, and like the hyperbole that comes with saying something like that, I think that's essentially what's really gonna wind up happening. And look. I'm batting 1,000. Every single prediction I've made on this case has come right. We have all the tapes.
So what were some of the predictions you had?
I said, and so as soon as the Cassie beatdown evidence was thrown out, I said he has officially won the case. The entire prosecution hinges, thank you, upon this evidence, and with this being gone, he's gonna basically win everything else. They have no case. And then pretty much every other thing I've said has been proven true. People said I was crazy with that, and I said all the testimony from the when they're from all of the sex workers.
I can remember early on Butchie B was rooting for him, said that free Diddy, he was gonna beat it. I had the assumption that they was gonna do him like they did Bill Cosby. He was gonna go to jail, do some time, and then get out. I was saying to do a few years type little situation, and we gonna let you out how they did Bill Cosby. Now you gotta understand, Bill Cosby was way more beloved than P. Diddy.
They did Cosby way worse though, if you think about it too.
How long Cosby do?
Regardless of the fact that
Cosby do?
Not that long, but he's in the twilight of his life. He's like, you feel me? That hit
was
different.
Cosby was allegedly roofing people and sucking toes.
That's what I'm saying.
And doing like crazy. Like, what you mean?
It was a different time,
no
bro.
That nigga was roofing these hoes. That nigga was going too crazy.
Yeah, Jello in the pudding, man.
Shit, if anything, he was doing a little worse than Diddy at this point.
For sure.
Diddy just freaky. After all this shit, like, that's one thing we learned. This nigga Diddy's a wild boy. Like, I don't see any nigga want to really.
We knew he was wild though, and guess what?
We ain't know he was the wildest shit, bro. Ain't no way in hell you letting a nigga put a nut on your.
No, you're right. That's diabolical.
What are we talking about?
However,
semen on your nipples.
Like, what are we talking? At least that's the craziest shit I could have heard. I would have never expected none of that.
At least we know what the baby oil was from. It was for him to slip it and slide his way through the legal system with no ramifications. He is not gonna do no real serious time. If he gets 18 months, it's a mere formality. He'll do 85% of that, which is the mandatory in the feds, 85% time.
Yeah, then I got the little time cut.
And he already got time served. He been in there.
And then he a person that never been in trouble, so he going to he'll walk that day. It'll be way less than 18. He'd be like a year or less and be out of there type situation.
They were going back and forth, deliberating on little small minutia regarding the trafficking charges, which I also said several months ago, that's what they might be able to get him on, is drug trafficking. Because not even sex trafficking, drug trafficking.
Which they didn't hit him with, by the way.
Which they didn't even hit him with.
Yeah.
You feel me?
All right, so Cassie Ventura's lawyer, Doug Whittaker, says he spoke to her and she's pleased. Sean Combs has been found guilty of 2 federal crimes, something that's never happened before, and happy she shined a light on his behavior. Let's see the lawyer speak.
We would like to see a conviction on the sex crimes RICO counts. But we're pleased that he's been held responsible for something, which is something that hasn't happened in his lifetime. And, we're hopeful that ultimately he receives a substantial sentence for what he's done. And, we're pleased that Cassie's brought to light everything that has happened in this trial. I just spoke with her and with the U.S. Attorney's Office team. And she's in a good place. She's pleased that that the jury has found him liable, or guilty of 2 federal crimes.
What was her reaction?
And I've issued a statement as well on our Twitter as well. Her reaction is what I just said. Her reaction was that she was pleased that he's been found guilty and held responsible of 2 federal crimes, something that he's never been held responsible in his entire life. And she's happy that in November of 2023 she came forward and shined a light on this and brought other people forward who have various civil claims, and so we'll see what happens with the sentencing. All right, thank you very much.
Can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Did he beat the case? You mad? Sorry, Cassie. She up like 15, 20 M's. That fool probably ate 60% of that. He's psyched too. We don't give a what that J-Cat has to say. You feel me?
Nah, this looking crazy. Everybody, even all right. So look, Aubrey O'Day, which is she was a part of Danny the Kane. She was a Diddy artist back in the day.
Big fan.
She reacted to Diddy being found not guilty of RICO and sex charges. Josh, if you could play the clip.
He used to knock that too, though.
So that is
she bad. I seen her in person up there.
Oh my God.
The jury
top tier.
Not guilty on Cassie. Not guilty on RICO. No way that Jane is gonna be guilty.
Sure.
Oh, this makes me physically ill.
Lobby. Sure. And the prosecution strategy
she financially
showing
hurt.
that video, or with knowing that video was going to be shown to the jury, was domestic abuse.
Wolf is silent.
Said, look, domestic abuse happened, but
Wolf
there
is
was no sex
silent.
Right. There was no racketeering, and it seems like the jury.
If we're talking about count 2 here, the forcible sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura, that means the jury has concluded there was
Cassie probably feels so horrible.
Coercion involved in that. It could still be that the jury finds,
Ronnie,
yes, a person
I'm gonna
was
vomit.
moved across state lines for the person of prostitution. That's count
All right,
3.
hey Josh, go to Instagram and go to academics page right quick. He just Cassie's lawyer just released a statement basically saying they want the judge not to let Diddy out. Let's read that. If you can make it a little bigger or lush, if you can see that shit, because I can't.
It's kind of hard to read.
All right, we write as counsel for Cassandra Ventura to respectfully request that the court deny Mr. Combs to be released pending his sentencing on his 2 convictions under 18 U.S.C. 2421 pursuant to the Bail Reform Act, 18 U.S.C. 1343. 2, detention is mandatory post-conviction on these charges, and Ms. Ventura believes that Mr. Combs is likely to pose a danger to the victims who testified in this case, including herself, as well as to the community. We thank the court for its time and attention to this matter. Respectfully, Douglas H.
That's not a really compelling letter, to be honest. I don't see that moving any needles in the courtroom.
But it just made me think about Kid Cudi ass. Cause that nigga Kid Cudi show took his ass up there testifying. That nigga Diddy look like he coming home. So if anybody, that nigga Cudi, you better watch the fuck out. That nigga Diddy coming for your ass.
Hey, I'm making a list and I'm checking it twice, and I see Cudi.
Don Richard, Kid Cudi, who also testified up there.
So you don't think the judge feels compelled in any way to take this in consideration that he would be a threat? Seeing as
based on that letter specifically?
No. Well, no, the letter's asking for him to consider it. I think based on the testimony and like all the other stories that have come out about how powerful he is and other people who've been affected by him who necessarily weren't in this case but still somehow brought into this case, like Kid Cudi.
I mean, there's no real compelling evidence. If he beat the case, he's had the majority of these charges dismissed. All that's out the window. At this point, it's merely allegations which have been proven unsubstantiated and unfounded. Why the with this little formal letter saying, "Oh, but he might hurt people's feelings. He's a mean guy. Don't give." Nah, shut the.
Yeah, because I feel like if they believe that, then he would have been found guilty in the courtroom. And don't get me wrong, I feel like Diddy is definitely a but with that being said, I think the judge and them, I seen them hooking up barricades and all type of shit like they just finna let this. That's what I took from it. Lauren LaRosa, she been doing a hell of a job. The chick from the Breakfast Club, she's been outside the courtroom almost every single day since the trial has started, or she's been inside the courtroom as well. And from a video I just seen her posted like an hour or two ago, they were like putting extra barricades and shit up. I seen that, assuming that at 5 o'clock they might let them post that $1 million bill and let them leave. But it is interesting though to see, because you got people like Kid Cudi, Don Richards, they all testified against him. How do you think? All right, worst case scenario, he does a year or 2 or whatever, he gets out. But all right, how do you think his career plays out after all of this? Is Diddy still gonna be Diddy? Like,
yep.
Yeah, I think the only thing he loses in this situation, because wasn't nobody really hurt. I think the only thing he loses in this situation is probably some of the family ties, but probably over time they might, merge back, because I don't know, it's just gossip, but I heard like his daughters, like doing a trial, like his daughters and like some of like the family members was kind of like wasn't feeling what was being said and was kind of like saying that some of this stuff they starting to see from a standpoint now. When they was younger, they was naive to it, but being that some of this stuff is being mentioned, that it might ring true and be true. So it's just, at the end of the day, it just depends on how much family mean to him. But other than that, shit, he still got his money, shit. So, I mean,
I seen a video of his saying the whole family, them niggas outside dancing.
Yeah, his sons are definitely supporting him.
And the daughters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nigga, they outside celebrating like,
that's
nigga,
gossip
this is
then, for sure,
a pure W to them. Like, there's a video, we could probably find a clip, but there's a video of Christian Combs he outside the courthouse and he two-stepping and shit, celebrating, you know what I'm saying?